What's going on, y'all? Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I am Son Bellamy, and today I am bringing you another what if human beings went extinct. I've really been enjoying this channel. That last video that I checked out, figuring that the sun was... Go check it out if you want to figure it out. That was just freaking awesome. And today I'm going to figure out what happened if humans just went extinct. Obviously, animals would rule the world, but what would happen with the world? I mean, obviously no one would know because we wouldn't be here, but let's try to run through a few scenarios and figure it out. If I like what you see, let me know down below. If you don't like what you see, let me know down below as well. Just try to be nice. I'm trying to grow. Without further ado, let's get into it. Looks like Call of Duty.
It's the end of the world as you know it. Every human on Earth suddenly went extinct. And it's time for nature
Definitely looks
to make
like a Call of Duty
its
map.
ultimate comeback. What would happen to your home and your city? Why would
Overrun by
this doom
nature,
the
really?
planet to a nuclear meltdown?
What?
And would any trace of human existence manage to live on? This
Well,
is
no, if we
what
went
if.
extinct.
And here's what would happen if humans suddenly went extinct.
All right, let's figure it out, y'all.
Whether it was a global pandemic, a planet-wide volcanic event, or a gigantic space rock, we reached the end of the line for our species.
Wow,
Every
sucks to hear.
single human on Earth is gone. For good. Now, while there's no hope for humanity to make a comeback, we'd be leaving behind a lot of stuff. Cities, highways, waste. Time to see just how long it would take for the last remaining traces of human life to disappear. The first week of life on Earth without humans would be tough for all the pets.
Yeah.
Without you, your furry companions would need to get outside and find food for themselves. So hopefully you left
Which
a
would be
window
hard.
open for them.
Probably
your
not.
peace lily would stand no chance.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be the only thing at stake with you gone for just 1 week. Soon, the world will become radioactive. The thing is, our nuclear plants produce nuclear waste. These pools of spent nuclear fuel need to be constantly cooled off with water. And that water needs electricity to circulate. Without humans to maintain the electrical infrastructure, soon nuclear facilities around the world would start losing power. And that would cause a disastrous chain reaction. The water that used to cool down nuclear waste would stop running and begin to boil off.
Ooh.
This would expose nuclear waste, causing it to catch fire. All
Holy
this
crap,
waste
that's trippy.
would explode, covering the planet in deadly radioactive chemicals. Ecosystems around the world would start dying from all the radioactivity. And many of these chemicals would remain dangerous for 300 years. And some, like plutonium, would stay radioactive for the next 240,000 years.
Whoa.
But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
God, that's crazy to think about. Like, we've built things that if we don't take care of it, we're done. If we don't take care of those plants, we're done. Like, even if we don't disappear, something happens. Wow. All right.
Okay, about 1 year after we're gone, nature would begin to reclaim our roads and highways.
Yeah.
Moss and fungus would grow everywhere. And when the first winter hit the planet, these roads would start to crumble. All the freezing and thawing would cause water from melted snow to flow into the cracks. In these cracked, vacant streets, new plants would grow. There would be weeds like mustard and shamrock. And in a few more years, grass.
God, that'd
In
be crazy.
forests, Poisoned by radiation, there wouldn't be any birds singing this year, but further away from these deadly areas, animal populations would start to boom. There wouldn't be any humans to hunt them or force them out of their natural homes anymore. Without pesticides, insects would reproduce
Yeah, but all their
quicker,
natural homes
taking
would be
over the globe.
nuclear wasted.
This would mean much more food for all kinds of animals, like reptiles and rodents. Okay, fast forwarding a bit, you'd start to see our empty cities undergo major changes. London's Trafalgar Square would be growing young trees. Berlin's
crazy.
Brandenburg Gate would be surrounded by
Pretty much what I
forest.
thought. Just nature
In
would just
New
take
York
back
City,
over.
a lot would be going on underground. Half a century would have gone by since the last time anyone from a maintenance crew managed any of its 753 subway pumps that prevented rainstorms from flooding the rails. There would now be a network of underground rivers below New York's concrete landscape.
Whoa.
Steel columns supporting the streets above would buckle and create waterways through Park Avenue and Wall Street.
Huh.
Your abandoned house and your neighborhood would all be in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
Roofs would leak, nails would rust, buildings would start collapsing. In major cities, streets would be littered with glass falling from decaying skyscrapers.
Wow.
All those skyscrapers would crumple into massive piles of rubble. Despite the city being flooded, New York's Grand Central Station and other stone buildings like it would still be intact.
Wow.
And good news, I guess, all your now worthless money would still be safe and sound in bank vaults that would never be reopened.
That'd
But
be crazy.
famous works of art wouldn't be so lucky. Without climate control and electricity, museum vaults would be less fortunate. Water would leak in and mold would cover everything. Ironically, thousand-year-old ceramics would continue to survive.
Man, all these things that we put just up on a pedestal. Like, nature just doesn't care. It's just going to destroy all of that crap. The Mona Lisa, nature doesn't care that society thinks that that's a beautiful painting for some reason. It's going to destroy the painting. It doesn't care. God, that is just such a crazy thing to think about, like what we put value on. And if we didn't put value on it, nothing else would. And it would just be another piece of paper hanging up on a wall that an animal might knock down because it's running away from another animal. Or like, you know what I mean? That's, oh man.
Ironically, thousand-year-old ceramics would continue to survive, just like fossils.
Huh. 500 years later.
500 years later, a forest
Weird.
would now cover where your home once stood. But buried in the dirt could still be the remains of many of your aluminum appliances and stainless steel cookware.
Huh.
Sadly, you wouldn't be around to cook any good meals with them anymore.
Well, duh.
With every stretch of black asphalt now overtaken by trees and grasses, temperatures would drop all over the world. The atmosphere would undergo changes as it continues to recover. Without humans, there would be less carbon dioxide in it. The initial boom in animal populations from after our disappearance would stabilize by this point. Predators like wolves would once again roam around Europe hunting in packs.
God, that would be crazy.
Jumping way ahead into the future, would anything
Yeah, it went from
remain of
500
human
to a
civilization?
million years.
Well, you'd still be able to make out the faces of former U.S. presidents in the granite of Mount Rushmore, but
I've always wanted
don't
to go there.
expect many facial features. A lot of the rock would significantly erode.
Well, yeah, due
There
to
would also
rain
be
and
some
everything.
remaining pieces of Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza and the Great Wall of China.
Wanted to
But
go there
time
too.
wouldn't be kind to them, and both would be barely recognizable versions of the former world wonders.
Wow. 100 to 5
At
billion.
this point,
Okay.
everything that humans left behind on Earth would be consumed by the sun as
What?
it expands and destroys the planet.
Huh?
But if you're worried about humanity disappearing into nothingness,
Wow,
there
spoilers.
still could be a human footprint to be found. The
Mars?
Voyager space probes would be somewhere out beyond our solar system. Maybe some alien civilization would find them and learn that once upon a time there was human life on Earth. But what if those aliens discovered us a little sooner? Like tomorrow? Well, that's a story for another What If.
Wow. So, yet again, I was right. Nature would take back over. I mean, hearing the whole thing about like the nuclear reactors and everything like that, just completely devastating everything for hundreds, if not thousands of years. That's kind of interesting to think about and to and to understand now. But I guess that would make sense. What did you guys figure out? What was something cool you learned? Let me know down below. And thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Perfect. There we go. Later, y'all.